Okay. Yes. 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 2026. It's a new year. It's a new year, people. Take it in. Take it in and enjoy it. Okay? Enjoy the new year. We've begun. It's been a little crazy. I know it's been a little crazy. I get it. But have you seen these candles for Bitcoin? Look at this. Look at this. Check it out, guys. Check it out. Whoops. Let's check it out, huh? All right. Welcome back to the Crypto Report. I am Crypto Kip. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. We are here to talk about this crazy price action. I want to start actually not down to the 5 minutes. Let's go to the daily candles here. Let's start with this. Let's hone in on this. Daily candles for Bitcoin. Look at the significance here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green daily candles in a row to start 2026. This is this candle right here. That is the 1st of January. It's been all bullish. It's all been bullish, guys, for Bitcoin. Of course, we had an incredible Pepe pump recently, breaking through a trend line. My short got stepped out. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. I didn't get short squeezed. I got stepped out in the red, which is fine. Not going to win all your trades. Did win my trade on Bitcoin. If you guys have been paying attention, I did have a trade on Bitcoin where I was shorting it for the last month and a half. Ended up profiting about $3,400 on that trade. And I have taken a new position that I'm going to share with you guys at the some point in this stream. I'll share with you guys. But I shorted it again. And I'll show you why. Okay. I'll show you why. There's a very specific reason for it. And I said it, and this is me just following my discipline, okay? The title of this video is Crypto Market Explosion to Start 2026. There's no doubt there's been an explosion. Bitcoin to 200K in 2026. People are discussing this. I want to talk about whether or not this is possible. I do believe that it is possible, but there's a difference between believing something's possible and believing something's likely. So we're going to talk about that. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not here to give financial advice. This is something I've been discussing for a little while regarding the Bitcoin price over the weekend and to kick off this new year. As we saw Bitcoin in this range where it was going up and down and up and down and up and down, and it broke below the range, we saw it retest with a bullish, well, actually a bearish rejection off of that, came back up. Now I told you guys, and I've had this little extra on for a while, it could come up and revisit this level again. $95,000. Doesn't have to go all the way up there, though. Why do I say that? Because looking at the daily candles, let's just say the top of that daily candle would be the highest most daily candle here is right around 94.6. These candles have wicks around 94. The closes of these candles, however, are at 93, 93.4. So if this daily candle can close above these daily candles, above like 93.4, then we might be getting a breakout to the upside. However, we still have 6 hours, 52 minutes left in this daily candle for Bitcoin. If it breaks and it closes lower than this level, then we could easily come back down and be facing a rejection, basically very close to just under this red X. Can we get up to that red X? We could. Maybe we wick up there, and maybe we have a daily candle close down. Or maybe, just maybe, we continue this run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days of green for Bitcoin. Can we get continuation to the upside? Well, it's a real valid question right now. It's a very valid question because we are seeing the total market cap for cryptocurrency right now find a bounce off the $2.84 trillion level, which was the weekly candle closes that we saw from the peak of the last bull market. I would not be surprised to see a level of support here, which is exactly why I've been talking about that. And I had that red line that I just deleted from the screen And for total market cap, I wouldn't be surprised to see a stopping point at basically the highs of these wicks right here. Probably right around 3.2 trillion. That could be a potential stopping point. Or like Pepe just did, maybe this resistance that we're coming up on, maybe it's not resistance after all. And if we're going to follow the theory that Pepe is an indicator of how the rest of the market's going to play out, well, what if this is happening right now? Here's the bullish thought. What if this is happening where Pepe is moving to the upside here and it broke through resistance, but now we're going to have a bullish retest and make that support and move back to the upside. XRP is moving up in a very significant way, coming up to a level of resistance. Maybe we break through there and it gets a bounce up. Maybe we're bouncing up, but the 4-year cycle is still in play, guys. I think it's something we need to be continuously vigilant about, keeping an eye on this and understanding the greater trend, which is this could be a bear market. This is probably a bear market, but maybe it's not. Maybe that was the bear market. Maybe there's a maybe there. I don't like that. I don't love all that talk, but we have to acknowledge it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days of green candles here when Bitcoin went in January 2025, came all the way up to 109, came back down to what, 74K in April, and then rallied for, well, those are weeks in a row, 7-8 weeks in a row. Right now we're 2 weeks in the green in a row. We can't have these big rallies where Bitcoin rallies for weeks and weeks, but I do want to warn you guys that this could be exactly where we're at. This is the thing that I'm fearful of. That could be where we're at right here. And if you just get rid of everything, and we just look, this area, this down, up, this is down, up, and it could be then, so we go down, up, and down, a little W. And we go, again, down, up, a little W. And that is what I expect. That's why I'm shorting Bitcoin. And just to show you guys why I'm so maniacally doing this right now, and I could get hurt on this trade. It could go the wrong way. That's fine. I'm setting my stop loss. I'll share it with you guys in a second. Again, I just profited $3,200 on a Bitcoin trade. So I'm willing to risk a little bit to stick to my convictions, which is I do believe this is a bear market. I do believe the 4-year cycles. I believe there's a risk of a dead cat bounce and we could rally up to 100K. And again, I'd be looking for other levels and other trades at like 100K. Maybe at about $98,000, $99,000, I'll be looking for another short if that short goes the wrong way. Maybe I'll be looking for a breakout trade and a bounce and then a move for continuation on this dead cat bounce before I continue to short it again. But I do believe that the shorts will come back at some point. And I'll get to where I believe that we could see Bitcoin to 200K in 2026. Maybe. I think it's possible. Do I think it's likely? I want to discuss that with you. But the very specific reason for this short trade that I'm making right now on Bitcoin is I want to stick to a disciplined plan. And I thought this well out ahead of time. And I saw this trend happening, right? And I saw Bitcoin bounce off that resistance. You got to find a level of resistance and you got to find a level of support. We have a private Discord, by the way, that does have trade signals. You've got to do your own research, guys. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. But if you want access to our private Discord where there are trade signals, we're discussing the trades that we're going in and out of, that maybe you're not seeing while we're doing these video updates or these live streams. When you sign up for Blofin, you don't need to deposit anything. You don't even need to trade with us. You'll get access to our private Discord for free when you sign up for Blofin. Now, if you want to trade with us, that is one way to support the channel through these affiliates. No doubt about it. And we appreciate all the support you guys give us. But you don't have to do that. Okay. If you want access to the private Discord, it's totally free to sign up. This is the #1 exchange that we like to use when it comes to doing our personal trading. So, that's just want to make that aware for you guys. This is currently my trade on Bitcoin. I am $5 in the red. Oh, no, I'm $5 in the red. I do not care. I have a stop loss set $677 in the red. If you'll notice, this stop loss is set just a touch above this wick right here. There is a risk here. There is a possibility I get stopped out if this trade goes into the green. If we see this trade and this candle close below this range, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be setting a stop loss probably right around break even, just to protect myself. But what my goal here is to open up a longer short Bitcoin short again. Now that we've had a bounce, I've taken my profit and I have a bigger position that I was able to take on this. I am risking some of what I just profited, no doubt about it, but that's the way that I want to play it, right? I mean, I'm willing to take as much risk as I can handle. You should do the same if you want to trade at all. You got to manage your risk accordingly, guys. Don't invest more than you're willing to lose. And in this case, I'm willing to risk 677 because I do believe maybe, just maybe, we are coming up on a level of resistance right here. Now, if I'm wrong, that's okay. I've profited significantly on a lot of my trades lately. I got a lot of capital to work with. You're not going to win every single trade. If you think you're going to win every single trade, then you are wrong. It is not possible to be 100% right all the time. You will have losing trades. The trick is to win more than you lose and keep it really simple. And the trend is your friend. Now, we do have major levels of support that are being hit right now for the total market cap. However, we have not confirmed any major breakout at this point, in my opinion. Let me know what you guys are feeling right now in the comment section. I want to pause there. Let's check out the chat. Let's say hello. How we doing, everybody? Smash a like, subscribe to the channel. We got 300cc in the chat. What's going on? Josh Beetle saying I'm late. You're early, brother. How's it going? How's it going? Marty Mack, what's up, big dog? Woof, woof. Marty Mack says, hey, I've been out of loop for a few weeks. Do you have any thoughts on XRP or this guy named... You know what? I don't have any thoughts on that guy. I will not be saying anything more about that guy. I have a standing invite to the Oscar Ramos Discord. I got to do that. I will join that Discord. That's a good idea. We got Mprex. How do I even find? I'll talk to Oscar. That's nice. All right. What are they? Are they talking about me in the Oscar Ramos Discord? They might be, because I went on a little bit of a rant on XRP recently, because, you know, I just do have some concerns about some of the high predictions. Let's transition into that. And that's maybe why there's discussions going on about, you know, I don't know, maybe there's chats going on about me in an XRP Discord of sorts. I would imagine that's very possible. We had sort of a viral video recently on it. Not going to get into the weeds on that. XRP just hit $691,000. No, it didn't. But this is what somebody is posting on X. Was this a glitch or a glimpse of what's coming? I don't think it was a glimpse of what's coming, because, you know, XRP, I don't think can go to $691,000 per coin, because that would literally be require all the money on earth 100,000 times over or something like that. Okay, so it's not possible, I don't think. And, you know, there's this huge narrative, and like, this is crazy. And this was frustrates me about, if you're an XRP army person and you're a big fan of the XRP token, you should be frustrated at this stuff too, I think. Why are people posting this stuff? Who made this screenshot? Who is responsible for this? This didn't happen. This didn't happen in any real world. Okay. So it's just really frustrating. It's just really, really frustrating to see. And then, like, this is all to like push out some other thing that's not even XRP, and it just drives me nuts. It just drives me nuts. And so I got a little bit vocal, and you know, I gotta be more respectful, I guess, of other people's opinions. I've got some opinions that people disagree with. And that's fine, and that's great, and everybody should be able to disagree or agree with anybody that they want to. However, I should be able to speak out as well, my true feelings on it, but there's a tactful way to do it. And so, you know, just 2026, a goal for me is to continue to speak my mind, but do it in a more friendly way. More friendly way. Yeah. 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 Me and Oscar were talking and asking if we could possibly get you in Blacksea. We can definitely get into the chat. Thanks, Marty. I appreciate it. Thanks, brother. I appreciate it, Marty. I got a whole, you know what? We'll talk in our private Discord. I got some other thoughts that are maybe for the people in the private Discord. That's one of the advantages of the private Discord. You'll get a little bit more unfiltered, you know, Kip maybe in that. However, I want to be respectful of others, and but I was definitely poking the XRP community with a stick recently. And look, I'm bullish on XRP. The U.S. Senate is going to consider a crypto market structure bill on January 15th, unless it gets pushed back. Wouldn't be surprised if it did. But this is something that is highly anticipated for the crypto space. Ripple is basically a bank now. XRP has a lot going for it. The banking system is probably going to be adopting XRP in some capacity at some point. People believe it might replace Swift. If it does, that could be huge. I think there's a lot of bullish things, but let's stop talking about these wild. Why would people put out these screenshots? It makes me sort of frustrated. Yeah. Josh in the chat says, what are your thoughts on how this Venezuela thing is affecting crypto? Look, I think it's affecting crypto a lot. I think that it's actually part of the reason maybe we're getting this pump. By the way, I'm a Bitcoin short's in the profit a little bit. We're just getting started. Too early to say. But I think it's affecting crypto a lot. We actually have Bitcoin pumping right now. Let's just jump into this really quick because I actually have Yahoo Finance pulled up. Feeling a little goofy today. Feeling a little good. Feeling a little fly. BSS in the chat. What's going on, brother? How we doing? How we doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Okay. Fallout begins after Trump's stunning Venezuela move. Let me tell you, I did a really stunning thing. We took him, we brought him here, and now we've got all the oil. We've got all the oil. The oil's mine, frankly, and we're not going to give it back until we do. And when we do, you'll hear. But in the meantime, the S&P 500 is doing great. Markets are doing great. Gold is soaring. People are realizing that oil and gold, the minerals, as there's uncertainty in the world, oil, gold, seemingly doing well. Bitcoin can probably do well off of that as well. If there's one thing that could drive the price of Bitcoin higher, despite the 4-year cycle that I believe in so much, and what could prove my 4-year cycle, it's not my 4-year cycle, our 4-year cycle wrong, is some global conflict that just scares the heck out of everybody and gets everybody to flock to gold and flock to Bitcoin and just flock right in there. Just flock and... What do you think? What do you think? Yeah. So other thoughts on the Venezuela thing? Let's look at some of this. This is the big conversation around Venezuela. Oil prices swing after U.S. captures Venezuela's Nicolas Maduro. Investors look, did you guys see the photo of him with 2 thumbs up? That was wild to me. Investors look to safe haven assets like gold and silver to limit risk, and Bitcoin, to limit risk from ongoing political instability in Latin America. That is what is happening right now. And I think people are looking at Bitcoin too. And so there's a lot of conversations. What could be next for the country's massive oil reserves? The president came out and said, we're going to have our very large United States oil companies, the biggest anywhere in the world, go in, spend billions of dollars, and frankly, fix the badly broken infrastructure and start making money for the country. We're going to do it. We're going to start making money for the country. We have to. Very important. That's what he wants to do. Several companies that could be well positioned to profit from surging. Yes, stocks are pumping. Chevron's pumping, S&P's pumping, the stocks are pumping, the gold is pumping, the Bitcoin's pumping. One turn in this news story, though. Okay? And the minerals. One turn in this news story could shift these markets, flip them right upside down on their heads. Oh, my goodness. That would be brutal. The Bitcoin short starting to profit, guys. I had a plan, and I'm sticking to it. Again, what was that plan? Why did I open up that Bitcoin short? Very clearly, looking at the chart, level of resistance coming up. Maybe we go a little bit higher. Maybe I get stopped out. Maybe I'll lose this one. You're not going to win every trade. Pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered. Gotta be careful. Okay. But I think it's a bear market still. I think that we're getting a little bit of a rally because of this oily story, this very oily story. But there is still risk of a rocky Q1. Keep in mind, friends, friends, amigos, baby, whoa, Fed Chair Jerome Powell ain't stepping down, baby, till later this year. Whoa. No, they're not. And so let's actually look at the Fed Watch tool. Let's take a peek at that. And I want to look at the poly market too, because I think the poly market's interesting. I think it's interesting to look at. Smash a like, subscribe to the channel. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing great. Oh, I hope you're doing great. I hope you're doing great out there. You got to look at this, guys. January 28th, 2026, a 16.1% chance of a Fed rate cut. Odds are shifting the wrong direction. 83% chance of no rate cut in the January meeting. Looking into March, a 49% chance we still don't get a rate cut. Isn't that incredible? Isn't that just incredible? What happened to our rate cuts? What happened to our risk-on asset rally? Well, maybe, just maybe, we got to wait a little bit longer. Maybe, just maybe, the 4-year cycle is still intact. Maybe, just maybe, this whole Venezuela thing and uncertainty on the globe stage and the oil prices rising and the gas and the gold and the Bitcoin's going to rise too. Maybe all that happens too, but I still think you got to keep your head on a swivel and find levels of support and resistance. I don't mind the strategy of buying Bitcoin consistently forever. You do your own research, you pick your own strategies, but I don't mind that idea. But I can't help but believe that there's going to be lower prices for Bitcoin in this, what I believe is a bear market. And I am looking forward to buying those. Now, if they don't happen, that's fine, because guess what? Two things. One, I can still trade the market, and that's been going quite well, as you can see. Fantastic. So excited. This is actually working out great. Love to see that. And I'm thinking of already lowering my stop loss a little bit, but I'm gonna sit tight for now. I'm gonna sit tight for right now. But there's two reasons why, you know what, I'm okay with whatever plays out. One, if the market goes up, you know, I can still profit on shorts and longs day in, day out. Two, if the market goes up, I still got holdings in crypto. But if this market does dip, then we will get great buying opportunities, even more so than we have today. If you take a peek over the last 7 days, what you will see is we've had a crazy rally for Pepe, Bonk, Floki. A lot of the memes are pumping. Stacks, our old friend Stacks, who really did us wrong in the last bull market. That's pumping. That's good to see. A lot of things are pumping over the last 7 days because Bitcoin started January with 5 green candles in a row. But I opened up a short because I think there's a chance that we could find resistance here. Nothing goes straight up. However, these are the daily candles, 5 green ones in a row. Looking at the weekly candles, there are moments, as I laid out in the beginning of this video, where you do get weeks at a time, where Bitcoin rallies 7 weeks from March 2025 until May 2025, where it just rallied. This is all possible stuff, guys. You need to play the market you have, not the market you wish you had, my friends. And it's super simple when you do it that way. I've actually had a few losing trades lately because I was shorting it. My Bitcoin trade did great. I had I think I actually had three losing trades in a row there. But again, I limited my downside by setting those stop losses and setting my take profits and setting my stop losses to limit the damage. And you got to do that, I think. I'm not a financial advisor. That's how I feel about it. But we continue to chat about some of this stuff in our private Discord. Shout out to all you guys that are a part of it. And yeah, I should join Oscar's private Discord as well. I should get on in there. Okay. Well, what else is going on? I've got a few other stories for you. I do think that the Pepe pump was very interesting. I do want to keep an eye on this. I talk about it. I have a Dogecoin video that I just recorded for you. We'll be live for our members immediately following this live stream and go live for everybody else in the public. Just in about 3 hours, I guess. Looking at Pepe, there's a chance that Pepe broke out through a range, might find a bullish retest and continue to the upside. That only happens, however, if Bitcoin breaks through this level and my short gets stopped out, which I wouldn't want to see, but it's possible. Open to that happening. That's why I think I'm going to lower my stop loss very soon. This trade is going spectacularly right now. I literally opened it and the price of Bitcoin started falling. I think I timed it perfectly, maybe. Oh no, it's climbing. Anyway, I think that Pepe has a chance. It's been rallying lately. I think Pepe does have a chance to, maybe find a bounce here. However, I'd say the more likely scenario in my mind is probably a move back down to retest the bottom of this range and decide, if Bitcoin's going to reject there, then we go to, I think Bitcoin's going to 73K. I can't wait. I think it's going to happen. I am excited about it. Yeah, I want the prices of Bitcoin and crypto to go up, but at the same time, I want to buy. I want to take more advantage of a bear market. It's kind of sick and twisted, guys. I feel wrong, right? I do want to buy at lower prices because I love buying discounts. I don't want to go buy a winter coat in the middle of winter when it's at its premium, when it costs the most money. I want to buy a winter coat in the middle of summer in the back of the store when it's on the clearance rack and it's 75% off. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? And the only difference between coats in the market is you can't really trade coats. And if you do, you're weird. But I'll trading coats. Josh Beadle in the chat says control the oil, control the global economy, a stronger dollar and more energy. The best energy will be great for crypto. That's what Josh says in the chat. There's a lot of interesting stuff going on. Now, I saw something going on. Andrew Tate put out a wild video recently where he said, why doesn't the U.S. just go take everything? I don't agree with that at all. What's that guy saying? What is that guy saying? Wild stuff. And you know what? Josh saying control the oil, control the global economy, a stronger dollar, and it'll all be great for crypto. It could be, unless we make all the major world powers angry and we go into another WW, which I don't want. I don't want that at all. I have a daughter. She's amazing. She's 15 months old. And I don't want global conflicts. I want a prosperous America, but I don't want to be dropping these from our planes over here and dropping those from our planes over here and us just going and invade a bunch of countries. I don't really want that, I want a strong America, but I don't want to go picking fights around the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that. I don't like it. The Venezuela thing, I don't know. I haven't even looked into the origin of the, conflict too much. When I see America going out there, it seems like we're just started the thing to get the oil. I don't know. Is that what you guys believe? What do you guys believe? Why did America engage in this conflict with Venezuela? I understand there were boats. They were doing bad things with boats. They were attacking boats, and we were then attacking their boats and blowing them out of the water or whatever. I get all that. I know that, Maduro had not a lot of great things to say about America. I understand that there's this whole, well, they were bringing this and that into our country, and there's a crackdown on crime from Venezuela, and I get all that, but does that really justify going in and taking the world's largest supply of oil? And does it really justify us just dropping payload after payload on Venezuela? Who? Yeah, I don't know. Marty says oil and minerals. Look at the conflict that's going on between Guyana and who gets. I don't know anything about that. See, you know more about all that stuff than I do. If you had a channel about that stuff, I'd watch it, Marty. This is another. They are hiding. Yeah. That's how I feel about it too, Marty. Because they made it behind. The content was from Trump trying to stop the bad guys. I don't know. Oh no, Bitcoin's go back up. I think the short trade's gonna play out today. Okay, what other stories do I have going on? Just check, keeping a close eye on the chat here. Okay, what else have I got going on? Walmart. Okay, Walmart is accepting Solana and Bitcoin and a lot of other cryptocurrencies, which is unbelievable. So they're going on CNBC. People are going on CNBC talking about this. Walmart is going to offer. I got this app, OnePay, where you could do crypto trading, and now you can pay for things at Walmart using this OnePay, which is compatible with Walmart. So that's pretty cool. It's crazy. This is old news, but it's going around right now. And I think this is old news. I think this is old news, but it's going around right now. People are excited. Okay, so let's talk about this $200,000 Bitcoin in 2026. Is it possible? Yeah, it is possible, guys. We already saw Bitcoin go to $126,000. Bitcoin completing a 70% move gets us there, I think. 75% move gets us to $200,000 Bitcoin. I want you guys to go back in the history of Bitcoin and understand something very, very important. It is not wild to see Bitcoin do 50% gains in a month, 34%, 52%, 26%. And you'll be like, well, that's 2019. There's less volatility now. Yeah, well, what about the 43% and the 16% in February and March and the 11% in May and the 10 and then the 30% over here? We still have big moves in the crypto space, 28%, 22%. No, I don't think we're going to have like a 70% monthly move, okay? But I do think that over the course of the year, if this market picks back up starting halfway through the year, there's a chance that we go, I don't know, 20% gains in like October, November, December, and boom, we might get up to some like $200,000 price levels. That is, of course, if Bitcoin doesn't spill all the way down to like $38,000, because if Bitcoin spills from February, March, April, May, June down to, let's say, $38,000 or something like that, then if it has a 50% gain in July, now it's only back up to what, 55,000 or something, and then it goes up 100% in August. It's still only at 110,000. If it goes up another 50% in September, then it's still only at what, 150,000. Did I just mess up my math? But you can kind of see the math. I think that it's possible that you get a 200K Bitcoin in 2026. But for all the people that are listening to these predictions out there and banking on that, because there's so many price predictions that come out about Bitcoin that are so big, they're so irresponsible. I think people need to zoom out and think just long-term strategies instead of thinking this year I'm going to go all in and I'm going to make all this money and I'm going to get out and I'm going to be rich. People need to stop doing that mindset. We need to start treating crypto like the S&P 500. We need to start treating crypto like the stock market. And I'm not talking about some random penny stock. I'm talking about, real stocks like an Nvidia or a Tesla or a whatever, a Walmart. Real stocks, okay? And you can still play the penny stock game if you want to on the meme coins. There's no doubt you can still play that game and make a ton of money. Now, I also have in this headline, altcoin season alert. Here's what I want you to be on alert about. I don't think that we're getting any real extended altcoin season right now. I could be wrong. I'm shorting the market because I do believe that we will find a level of resistance. Now, to be very clear, maybe it's not right here. Maybe we rally up to 100K. Maybe this trade goes the wrong way for me, okay? Again, you don't invest more than you're willing to lose. But I do believe altcoins have a bright future. I just think that altcoin season didn't really happen in this bull market. And I think a lot of people are sitting here waiting for it to happen. But in reality, what I think we're seeing right now, I think it's a dead cat bounce. And I think that plays out something like that. You know what I mean? I think it plays out something where we're going to get, maybe this is the dead cat bounce and this is where it stops. Maybe Bitcoin rallies up to 110. Maybe it goes up to 100. And then we come back over. And what's going to happen is if Bitcoin goes to 100 and Bitcoin goes to 110, you're going to see Pepe have a bullish retest and a bounce back up. You're going to see Pepe up, 200% in 2 months or something like that to start 2025. And then I think what could happen, and the risk I'm worried for people, is people are going to come piling into that stuff because they're going to start buying it because they think it's going up again and they don't want to miss the boat and they're going to start buying it. And then the dead cat bounce will be over and we're going to go to the true brutal bear market where everything really comes to its real lows. Bitcoin comes down to 74K or lower. XRP comes back down to, below 176, maybe retest back down into the dollar price range, right? Maybe we see that happen. there's a lot of ways this could play out. And so we're just not out of the woods yet, guys. And that's the alert that I have for altcoin season conversations. We're certainly having a great explosion to start the year, but these are the things that are going through my mind. Craig Murray in the chat. What's up, Craig? I'm doing well. We're working hard. It's 2026. We're a few days in, and it is grind time. Absolutely wonderful to grind to start the new year. Get it done. Get it done right. Get her going. Okay. What else is cooking, guys? What else is cooking out there, people? How we doing? There's your 15-minute candles. You guys know quite a bit about global things that are going on in the chat there. Know a lot about those. Are you oily boys? The oily boys. I always thought that was a funny term. How we going, John? Oh, John in the chat. What's going on, John? How you doing, legend? Happy New Year to you, brother. How are you? How's life? Update for you. Got a 15-month-old daughter. Trying to find a good church for us. I think you'd appreciate that. Trying to figure that out. So we're, now that she's to the age where she can kind of function, I think I found one where got a little good daycare center where we can actually start doing that. It's not for everybody. I understand that, but that's my personal update. I thought John would appreciate that. John's got a cross on his profile pic. Happy New Year. He says, I am blessed. Yes, sir. You are blessed. I think we're all blessed, really. I think we are really blessed. Really a good start to 2026 so far. Gosh, got to get ready. I'm going to be doing the 2025, 2026 confusing. Every time we go into a new year, I'm like, what year is it? Year 2030 already? We're getting a little pump here. I might get stopped out the wrong way, guys. We're gonna see. We're gonna see how it plays out. Maybe we're gonna be ripping, guys. This Venezuela thing is certainly a little bit wild. Let me tell you. What else is going on? Let's just take a peek at some of these other stories that I have anything else pulled up for you. I thought this was interesting. We already talked about this. This crypto market structure bill. Oh, you know what I wanted to look at? I wanted to look at the poly market with you guys. Let's check that out. Oh, it's my little monkey girl. Oh my gosh. My baby's going down for a nap. Marty Mack says, at what point BTC price would you start questioning cycles? Good question. Good question. I'd probably start questioning the cycles. That's a really good question. I haven't gotten that question. That's a great question. Maybe a good idea for a video, actually. I'll do that tomorrow, I think. If we get above like 110, above 113, then I'd be like, wow, maybe the cycles are over. That would be shocking if we got that high. We got to get above it, though. I mean, like a weekly candle close above it. I'm not talking about a wick to it because I am very open to a wick to those levels. I'm very open to a price flash to those levels and still being a bear market. Why do I say that? That might sound crazy to some of you. I say that because in my experience, whatever is the most painful is the most likely. And I think that would be incredibly painful because there's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of people that believe in the super cycle. There's a lot of people believe, who cares about a bear market? 2026 is going to be bullish. And if Bitcoin shot up and at a weekly candle close above 114 and then just collapsed down, that would be extremely painful. And I think it would cause the final sell-off and take everything to the bottom because people would really give up the 2026 bull thing at that point. And then we'd hit a low and then we could start our bull market again. But I'm open to being wrong, folks. I am open to being wrong. Okay, so let's go over to the crypto tab here. I want to look at what is going on there. Why wouldn't that work? There we go. What price will Bitcoin hit in January? Let's see where the bets are. There is a 48% chance, people are betting right now, that we're going up to $100,000. People are putting in an 88% chance that we're going to 95K. Very bold. Very, very bold. Right now, the price of Bitcoin is sitting at $93,000. And if it goes to 95K, I will get stopped out in the red. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. But a lot of people believe that Bitcoin's going to have this kind of bullish retest, I guess. Not a lot of people want to say that we can see 115 or 120 in January. There are some, however. Let's look at some of these other things going on. Let's look at some of these other Bitcoin predictions. Let's see here. Only a 39% chance that Bitcoin takes a new all-time high by December 31st of 2026. I think that's a pretty fair odd. I think that's pretty fair. I think that's pretty fair. Do you guys agree with that? Will Bitcoin hit 80K or 150K first? 78% chance right now of 80K first. And will Bitcoin go up or down on January 6th? It's a 50-50 shot right now. Unbelievable. Generally bearish. January seems quite bullish right now for some reason, but people are still bearish for 2026, it seems. Very interesting, huh? Let's look at what some of the thoughts are for XRP. It's priced in a 98% chance. $2.20, 53% chance of $2.40. Yeah, these all seem pretty realistic. These are kind of some of the levels that I'm looking at. Very interesting time, huh, guys? Very interesting time. Yeah. Yeah, so we do have some of those memes that were rallying recently, retracing. This is kind of what I talked about. Nothing goes straight up. Did that answer your question, though, Marty? You know, maybe 113, 114K. I'd be like, maybe weekly candle close or something. I don't know. It seems that BT will come down after the hype unless we're maybe in some weird bull market extension. Yeah, I don't think we are, though. I could be wrong. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a bald guy on the internet after all. If you guys want to trade, check out one way to support the channel is trading through our affiliate link. You don't have to do it, but if you want to sign up for Blofin and trade with us, you can. But if you just want access to our private Discord, you can also get access to that for free when you sign up for Blofin. You don't need to deposit anything. You want to access our private community, join the Crypto Report private Discord, just sign up for Blofin. Totally free to do. Super easy to do. It's the #1 exchange that we like to use when it comes to doing our trading. Interesting. But yeah, no Fed rate cut here this year coming up. What else is going on what's trending? Honestly, later by end of 2020, people are actually voting on that. That's wild. That is wild. People are actually thinking we're going to invade? I hope not. Very interesting. All right, guys. Well, that's the scoop on the day. This is the Crypto Report. I'm Crypto Kip. I'm in a Bitcoin short. To see how that short plays out, just, well, keep an eye on the price. You know where my stop loss is if you're paying attention. I'll have more videos coming out later today. One about Dogecoin that I think you should pay attention to. So subscribe to the channel for more updates. Turn on a notification bell. We're going to keep the content coming about XRP, about Crow, about Dogecoin, Pepe, Solana, all your favorite coins. We like them all. We love crypto here at the Crypto Report. Happy 2026, everybody. Smash like, subscribe to the channel. DC, a hold of y'all. 2 videos right here if you want to check them out. I'll see you in the next one. Focals, Pokals. Peace.